All right, what's up, everybody? Courtney Morse, Natural Wellness Physiotherapy. For the last part of our, our 4 pillars of health series, this one's going to be about diet. Just the word diet evokes like terror and just so many people because they've all been on a bad diet and they fail and they struggle and they feel like they're, never good enough. Here's rule number 1 about a diet is you don't have to be perfect, right? Is if you go on a Friday night and you have 4 pieces of pizza, that is not the end of the world, right? Start over, start fresh every time, and recognize that diet is kind of a dirty word, right? We've all been on fad diets. We want to go keto, or we want to go paleo, or we want to do whatever. We want to do Whole30. Just know that those are like a nice reset. That is not a sustainable way to eat for the entire duration of your life, and that's what we should be looking for. It's kind of that lifestyle change, right? And then adopt the 80-20 rule. If I eat really well 85% of the time, I've afforded myself the fact that I can be human and have something enjoyable. I can eat some ice cream and I can have a glass of wine or do whatever if I'm eating well most of the time. So the other part of this is there's a lot of misinformation about which fats we should use and whatever. Like, the fact of the matter is, if you stuff your plate with at least 50% of vegetables and eat yourself some healthy fats, something that's that's not some trans fat or some kind of something terrible for you, then you're probably okay. Animal fats, they're probably okay. They'll change their mind 10 times in the next 2 weeks on what's going to be on there. It doesn't matter. Eat yourself some whole foods, meaning the foods on the outside part of the grocery store, foods that you have to cook, right? Cut out as many processed foods as you can. And that doesn't mean you can't, eat an Oreo from time to time. But even those, quote unquote healthy foods, those gluten-free, non-GMO, blah, 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 like, they're still processed. So a good rule of thumb is, if it comes from a plant, eat it. If it's made in a plant, don't, right? And so sometimes that means that we have to learn how to cook. And cooking is fun if you get into it and you find somebody that you like to follow and you like to cook similar to what they do. Because it's really hard and it's pretty expensive to go out for every meal and to try to find something healthy when you're out. And then that's the last part of this thing is to, if you struggled and you've done this 10 times before and you've rode that yo-yo diet up and down, then you've not ever kind of adopted the right change and you've not found what works for you. And sometimes that's behavioral change. And if that's the case, enlist a coach. Ask somebody to help, right? There's all kinds of good groups out there with good certifications that aren't going to walk you down some kind of crazy path, right? Precision Nutrition or whomever it is, go to your local gym. They absolutely have somebody there to help with nutrition. And you cannot exercise your way out of a crappy diet. It just can't be done, right? And I've tried that 100 times. It doesn't work, right? You clean up your diet, everything else falls into place too. Your sleeping gets better, your movement, your exercise, all that stuff gets better. But it's a valuable piece to consider what you're ingesting as medicine, right? Is that I can either take these pills that are going to help me offset whatever problems I have because I'm eating like a jerk off, or I can just eat the good stuff in the first place, right? So with that's going to wrap up this series. If you guys have questions or anything like that, comment below, shoot me a message. I'm happy to help out the best way I can. I'll get you the resources that you might need. Until next time, Courtney Morse, Natural Wellness Physiotherapy.